Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and I don't have any real finished objects, but I do have a couple of things that are a little further along. The sweater, the My Comfiest knit sweater. I managed to get a few more rows. That back, it's coming along very, very slowly. And I do mean very, very slowly. Now, I did get the pillow cushion at least started for that rose cushion. It was a little interesting the way they had you put it together, because you sew the inner here together and then you crochet your stitches around, and then you start stuffing the inside, and then you do the same on the outside. So yeah, that was a little interesting. I was worried about it being much smaller than what I thought it would be, but it's turning out that it's fairly good. Now, I have about that much of one of the large petals done. You have to make 2 petals. So this is about halfway through for the first petals. So I have to make 2 more of these, and then I'll make 2 of another size to, that kind of thing. So it's getting there, slowly but surely. And I went to the For the Love of Fiber festival in State College this past weekend. And I had a very generous gift from a friend who gave me some money to purchase some yarn. Because I told him, I said, I'm not going to get through that yarn without having to buy something from this one shop. I mean, I've been going there for probably 10 years now. And every time I buy from the one shop, and I did again this time. And for those of you that have a question as to who the shop is, she gets me. Kirsty Katz. Every time I go and I will find 1 or 2 skeins, hanks that I just have to have. And I am going to show you a couple of skeins. Let me make sure. Okay. Yes. Alright. First of all, these are all in the same vein of color. The name of this is Alderstone, and it is her. These 2 skeins are on her BFL Sport, which is a superwash BFL. There's 287 yards, 100 grams. And look at that. Look at that. Oh my God, that is gorgeous. Well, she didn't. That's not what I saw first. That is what I saw second. First, I saw the DK. And it has 246 yards, and it's superwash merino. Look. But I didn't stop there, just because this friend gave me a very generous gift. Look at that. Is that not stunning? And she was a little worried about the mixing the 2, fibers, but I'm not. I don't care. Let's be rebels, right? So I got 6 skeins altogether of lusciousness. I have an idea of what I want to make with it, but I'm very grateful to that person who gave me that generous gift. It was a combination birthday gift, Christmas gift, and just a general gift in passing. And so I'm very grateful to that person for that gift, because otherwise I would not have purchased any yarn. Why? Let's get to the house. House has come along fine. I did go over today, and one of the fireplaces finished. but I'm not happy with it because it is a stacked stone. Sequoia stone is the name of the stone that I chose, field stone. But there are some very huge gaps in the way that they put it together. They did some straight cuts with a saw, but didn't fill it in with another stone up against it. And it's, quite frankly, it looks like crap. So this afternoon I'm going over and I'm going to show him exactly what I'm not happy about. And on the side of the fireplace, there is an area, you know, stacked. When you're putting in stacked stone on a fireplace, it's like putting a puzzle together. You know you're going to have some that are come close together, and you're going to have to put a little bit of mortar between them, that kind of thing. I understand that. You're going to layer them. They're not always going to be level. They're not always going to be, you know, perfectly stacked and beautiful. However, you're not going to, on the side, have them very nicely stacked, and then maybe one this way, and then what looks like a little octagon here, and just like they tried to stuff little pieces in. That ain't flying in my book, and I'm not happy with it. I did talk to him on the phone today and told him I was not happy with it. He's like, yeah, but it's fieldstone, you know, it's stacked, it does that. I said, no, fieldstone does not have straight cuts in it. And even if they do, you have another piece that you have butted up as close as you can to it. That's, I mean, it looks awful. And I will put some pictures at the very end so that you can see what I'm talking about. That I'm just not happy with, because there's some pretty big gaps. And I'm glad that I went over today. I walked in and they had the ceiling fans in the two smaller bedrooms. One of the ceiling fans is to go into the master bedroom. The other one was supposed to go in the sunroom. But so now I'm trying to decide where I want to put that ceiling fan, or if I just want to send it back to Amazon and give my money back. I'm a little perturbed about that, but you know, it'll be okay. Things will smooth out. And as my son said to me, Mother, you either need to learn not to look at it, because if they take it down, they'll do more damage to it. Which I know and I understand. And then I said to him, well, I guess I'll just make a wall hanging quilt and hang it, you know, on that one side that I think is totally abhorrent looking. But yeah, that's kind of where it's at with the house, in order to get it finished and everything. So I am not, you know, very thrilled with that at all. And, you know, what are you going to do? You have to work with them as best you can. That is it for that portion. I have been doing some more drawings, and I'll put those at the very end as well of this video so that you can see those. We did a table setting today. I didn't finish the portrait of myself because I missed last week's class, and this week we were learning to try to distinguish shapes and just have fun. Basically just an exercise to do to work with a little bit of your creativity. And then we did a breakfast setting. And I will tell you at the end, so when you look at it, on my place setting I have 2 eggs and 2 strips of bacon. And as soon as I drew them in with the eggs and everything, I said, oh look, it's Cookie Monster. So we had a little bit of a giggle with that. But it's nice, fun exercise to learn. And I'm really grateful for the instructor that does all this teaching and just puts up with us all the time. He is the type of person that when you're working, he doesn't want to hear a lot of chatter. So if you are talking amongst yourselves, many times he'll walk over and say, "Can you be quiet?" But he always has beautiful music playing in the background, you know, and this beautiful scenery up on the TV. So it's very calming, and we all understand that's just the way he is. So, but every once in a while, he has to tell us to calm it down, you know. As he puts it, us men cannot compartmentalize. We cannot work on something and talk the way that you women do. So, please, stop. So it's a bit of fun. All right, I think that is it. Etsy is slowly coming through. I have gotten one deposit today, which I thought was rather funny. I did send and ask him what happened to the rest of the money from last week, and I haven't gotten an answer yet. But you know, that's neither here nor there. And I did want to remind you that today is the last day for the sale. For the items are 15% off for the tote bags and I believe the project bags. Did I put tote bags in there too? Maybe I didn't. I don't remember. But that's neither here nor there. Alright, are you ready for a little what in Tarnation? Let's get to it. Family on vacation reels in great white shark in Florida. A North Dakota family on a fishing trip in Florida reeled in a larger fish than they expected when they caught a great white shark. While on a fishing trip in Fort Lauderdale this week, one of the members of the fishing party said that a big tug on his line alerted him that a larger than average fish had been hooked. All of a sudden, when it hit the one rod, it just hit and it took off. So we knew it was something big, Sean Jacobson told WSVN. He said after about 40 minutes of pulling, he and two other men in the party were able to pull in the great white. We were alternating turns left and right, probably, 20 to 30 cranks, and then the next guy was on. The men say they hired good hit sports fishing, hoping for an exciting time. But even the ship's captain said catching a great white is a rarity. I've been doing this for 20 years full-time as a captain. Captain Adam Reckert told WSVN, "That's the second time that I've landed. The last one was about 15 years ago." The children on the boat named the big fish Koufax Crusher, one of the boys said. After the family members captured some video and took pictures, the shark was tagged and released back into the ocean, which is standard protocol according to the fishing outfit. What do you think? One of the fishing enthusiasts said on the video taken of the catch. "Best day ever," said a boy with the group. And no doubt it was. I love my home state of New Mexico. New Mexico Game and Fish seeks professional bear huggers. The New Mexico Department of Game and Fish is seeking to hire professional bear huggers. Must have the ability to hike in strenuous conditions, have the courage to crawl into a bear den, and have the trust in your co-workers to keep you safe during the process. Department wrote in a lighthearted Facebook post announcing the application deadline for the next class of conservation officers. The post includes photos of officers holding bear cubs as a part of a research project in northern New Mexico, offering applicants a chance to have the experience of a lifetime, while pointing out not all law enforcement field work is this glamorous. The post warns against crawling into bear dens or feeding bears, adding, "If you do, our officers will have to have a chat with you." Department is taking those applications for conservation officer trainees online through March the 30th. Sometimes some of these cameras that we have set outside our homes, you know, Ring or security cameras, sometimes they give us a glimpse of something that we're like, what is that? Mystery creature from Florida man security camera footage identified as a frog. A mystery creature that repeatedly triggered a Florida man's home security camera was mistaken for a human hand and an octopus before being identified as a Cuban tree frog. Dean Gordon said he was asleep at his Lehigh Acres home when he received an alert from his home security camera at 1:40 a.m. Sunday. Gordon said he checked the camera footage on his phone and was not sure of what he was seeing in the backyard. I thought it was a human hand, and I was like, hold on, let me watch it again. And then he said, that looks like an octopus. He got a second alert from the doorbell camera at the front of his home, which offered a slightly clearer look. Second video was from around front. That's when he stopped and saw the leg, and I think the eye. You could see the frog's legs and big eye. Gordon posted his footage to Facebook asking neighbors if they could identify the creature. Locals said the animal appears to be a Cuban tree frog, an invasive species known to live in the area. Some commenters said the amphibians have been seen climbing on their own cameras. Matthew Metcalf, a visiting instructor at Florida Gulf Coast University, said the frogs are expert climbers. If it's in urban areas, you'll see them crawling up on the signs and onto people's roofs. Now you kind of have to wonder what these border agents, thought when they got this unexpected surprise. Border Patrol finds $67,830 of gold in package valued at $125. Border agents at the Port of Cincinnati discovered a package filled with $67,830 worth of gold in a shipment heading for Hong Kong, with a declared value of $125, officials said Wednesday. U.S. Customs and Border Protection said officers selected the package for an X-ray examination on March the 9th. The package originated from San Francisco and was addressed to Kowloon, Hong Kong, in China. It was declared to contain clothing valued at $125. After noting density anomalies during the X-ray screening, officers opened the shipment and found 4 gold bars and a box of loose gold concealed within articles of clothing, the agency said in a statement. The laboratories and scientific services confirmed the gold was approximately 98% pure, leading import specialists from the Center for Excellence and Expertise to assess the value of the shipment at $67,830. The agency said filing misleading export information can lead to civil or criminal penalties and prosecution. Cincinnati Border Patrol aspires to be the most innovative and trusted law enforcement agency in the world. As the volume and demand for U.S. exports increase, our officers and specialists safeguard our economy by maintaining a strong and unified presence at our borders and leverage their experience and technology to detect shipments contrary to law. Oh boy. And in 2018, this is a lot of money. A janitor at the Incheon International Airport in Seoul, South Korea, found $325 million worth of gold bars in a garbage bin. The bars were wrapped in newspaper. And authorities in Switzerland said in 2020, someone left behind $190,000 worth of gold bars on a train. Officials said the bars appeared to be left after a Swiss Federal Railways train that had arrived in the city from St. Gallen to Lucerne. That's a lot of money to lose, especially in gold bars. Maybe it was too heavy to move, who knows. Arkansas man finds 3.29 carat gem at the Crater of Diamonds. We really need to go hunting for diamonds. Just because. Arkansas State Park said a visitor to the Crater of Diamonds State Park recently unearthed a 3.29 carat brown diamond, the largest found at the park since 2021. Officials wrote in a news release that David Anderson of Murfreesboro was wet sifting soil from the park's West Drain area when he spotted something shiny. At first I thought it was quartz, but wondered why it was so shiny, Anderson told park officials. Once I picked it up, I realized it was a diamond. Anderson said he has been a frequent visitor to the park during the past 16 years and has found more than 400 diamonds, including a 6.19 carat white diamond in April 2014. Anderson dubbed his latest discovery Bud. B-U-D. That's for big, ugly diamond, he said. Officials said Anderson's diamond is the largest discovery at the park since a 4.38 carat yellow diamond was discovered in September of 2021. And see, here's the funny thing. I don't really care for diamonds on me, but it has always been a dream to find a diamond at this Diamond Crater Park. I've been there I don't know how many times as a kid. I just want to go hunt. Alright, hippos surrounds a lion stranded on a rock in a river. A male lion wanders into the wrong territory and finds himself stuck in the middle of a river surrounded by angry hippos. Not hungry, angry. As co-owner and guide at South Post in Kruger National Park, Sten Jacobson, 30, said he has never seen a sight like that. He shared the footage with latestsightings.com. We started off with a quiet morning, so we went down to the river for our morning coffee. Stop so that the guests could enjoy the view, as it was my last drive with them. Always looking around for something, I saw the hippos' strange behavior. As we watched, the hippos grew increasingly agitated and started to circle a rock, clearly unhappy with it. Lions and water typically don't mix well, as lions are not great swimmers and are often hesitant to enter bodies of water. So seeing this male lion stuck on a rock in the middle of the river was a truly unique sight. Looking through my binoculars, I saw what appeared to be a male lion, stranded on a rock surrounded by tons of angry hippos. All of a sudden, a big hippo went for the lion, and the lion had no choice but to jump off and into the water. At the end, another hippo went for the lion, but luckily he missed it. As we later discovered, the male lion we saw was a young nomad, not one of the dominant males in the area. Male lions typically defend a specific territory, but young males often roam around until they establish their own territory. It was clear that this male lion had wandered into the wrong territory, and the hippos were not going to let him off easily. For anyone lucky enough to witness a rare sighting like this, my advice is to take it all in and savor every moment. These moments are fleeting, and you never know when you might witness something truly special in the wild. Guests always ask us what's the rarest thing you've ever seen, and this is, at the top, a very unique sight indeed. And that is it for today's podcast. So I am glad you joined me, and look for the pictures at the very end. I'm going to put up a little bit of footage of me just walking through the fiber festival. It was a very small fiber festival. We got there early, so I didn't see Glenda. Glenda, where were you? So I didn't see Glenda. I didn't see a couple of friends that I normally see there anyway. But we had a good time, and we did enjoy it. So yeah, that is it for that portion. All right. Yesterday was the first day of spring, and it was cold. What can we say? All right, I have a 1 minute spent with God. Not by might, nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord. Those who believe in Jesus have the same power that raised him from the dead living in them. This comes from Zechariah 4:6. From the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and violent men take it by force. That's Matthew 11:12. And let's get to today's reading, which is March the 21st. Can you believe we're already here? Live at peace. If it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. Romans 12:18, the New International Version. How does this verse strike you? One extreme, you may think, he doesn't know the people in my life. On the other hand, this may be one of the easiest commands in Scripture. You're just that easygoing. Most of us lie somewhere in the middle. We get along with almost everyone, but there's just that one coworker and that temperamental middle child. And live at peace with everyone. We can't control other people, but with Christ's help, we can control our response to them. Which responses do you need to better control through Christ? All right, that is it for today's podcast. I will see you again soon. Be kind to one another, love one another, get out there and see this big, beautiful world, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.
Oh, okay.
She hates that she gets in it.
Right, yeah, right. What do we hope to make? Right. Well, I have that in my thing. Thank you.
It looks like a very heavy.
So everyone looks like this. You gave us that password, but I didn't need a password when I signed it.
Maybe you had it from last time. You have one of these?
No, I don't know. Oh, I'm on, so. Oop, I don't want to open for you. I did. It was a slow one, so I didn't charge it the whole way out. I'm not going to get out now. Yeah.
And this is the booth that always gets me.
So pretty.
It always gets me here.
So pretty. Yes. Hey, I saw somebody Decided if my niece
There you go. Thank you so much, Joy. Stitch stoppers.
Oh, you know what? I saw somebody had marshmallows.
What time is it? Yeah.
Give us two. You got it.
You got it. That's a big jump. Yeah. It's the only one. That's the only one. Must be the processing. Oh,
Well, that too. It could be that too, yeah.